once you log into the session, you can see this kind of environment in AWS. So what these are all, we'll try to understand step by step. So first thing is it says that EC2. EC2 is nothing but a virtual server in Amazon. Whenever you require a virtual servers, you can select this particular option EC2, and you can select the server, whatever the type you required, what the size you required, all those things you can specify, and you can use it. Okay, then we'll also in a compute service we'll discuss that EC2. In a storage we'll discuss S3 CloudFront. Okay, then we'll also discuss the RDS, relational database service, VPC, Route 53, okay, and CloudWatch. These are all the cloud formation. Okay, it is almost like if you join any regular AWS course. Okay, whatever they will teach. Okay, those all the things we are going to discuss here. In your resume, you can undoubtedly you can update your AWS skills on your resume. Okay, so we are planning to have a Ansible session where we try to integrate that Ansible with EC2. That means Ansible with AWS. We'll see that. So let us start with one of the basic service called EC2. Basic and one of the main service in Amazon is a EC2. Okay. First, what we are trying to do, if you go to the EC2 section, if you click on EC2 dashboard, okay, let us say that. If you click on EC2 dashboard, you can see here number of servers running. Okay, number of dedicated hosts, what is the volumes you have, what is the key pair you have, all those things you can see here. Okay, what exactly you have in a EC2 section you can see over here. Okay, so let us say I want to launch a new mission. I can say launch instance. Whenever I say instance or server or virtual machine or whatever it is same. Let us say launch instance. In general, if you install any operating system, any server in your local data center, we generally give a username, password, and what is the whatever the server you want to install, we'll select that CD. Okay, in that way it will goes on. Whereas Amazon, this already pre-installed AMIs are available over here. That means what is the pre-installed AMI? Already installed that operating system and the image AMI is available over here. That they call it as AMI is nothing but Amazon machine image. Okay, Amazon Linux AMI is available. Red Hat AMI is available. In that way, they have n number of AMIs already ready to install on your machine, on your AWS account. These many already predefined template AMIs already there. Okay, let us select first one server and we'll try to do some operations on it. So whenever you are doing a labs, you want to do with a free tier eligibility, right? So what you have to do, you have to select a free tier only. Then let us say I want to select a Linux machine, suppose Amazon Linux. So here is a T2 micro. They have divided their instances into different families and types. Why they divided? If you go to any pizza center, what they generally give? Okay, you can see the pizza large, extra large, double extra large kind of thing, right? What it means, based on the size and different things, they will give you different pricing as well as the size details. In the same way, Amazon has divided their instances into families and types. Types, if you see that there is a T2 nano, T2 micro, T2 small, medium, large, and in the way this goes on. In that way it goes on. Okay, like Okay, we have a C4 large extra. By changing the type, with a certain number of CPUs and number of the memory is increasing. Okay, memory size and CPU size is increasing as per the requirements. You can select as per the requirements. You can select the CPU values and memory values over here. Clear? So if you observe here, by default it is saying that it is a free trial eligible. Only select this. If you select other, they will charge you. Okay, you have given already your credit card, debit card information with Amazon. So if you given a wrong, if you given any non-free server you selected, and if you forgot to terminate or anything, they will charge you for that. Okay, let us see. I've selected a T2 micro. Okay, just this in a calculations, just free tire calculation. Just I'll tell you that every month. Okay, every month Amazon will give you 750 hours of free server every month. EC2 750 hours. That means what? Suppose I started a server, okay, that is free tier eligible, which is T2 micro, and I've ran it for continuously 30 days into 24 hours. Still it is something 720. That means if you run entire 1 month also, the server, they won't charge anything for that. Suppose you say you started 720 servers, 750 servers at a time. How many hours it will give free? Your free quota will be completed in very first hour. Once the first hour completed, your free quota will be completed, and next hour onwards they'll charge. Is that clear? Okay, I've selected a T2 micro and configure the instance. When you are configuring the instance, on how many servers you require, you can specify here. Here I said 1, 10, 20, whatever you want, you can specify it. What is the purchase option? Purchase option. The purchase option is nothing but, just try to concentrate here. Whenever you're trying to start a server, by default the billing would be on hourly basis. Purchase option is nothing but, generally when you select any server from Amazon, that is based on hourly basis. How many hours you started any server. Okay, that depends on that. Okay, hourly based charges. Suppose you have an application that you want to test your application. You require 100 servers. Is your company able to bear the 100 server for only 1 hour testing point of view? Oh, no, right? So what Amazon saying? What Amazon saying? We have a general purpose purchasing per hourly based. We have, apart from, we have a spot instance request. A spot instance request is nothing but you are bidding kind of thing. Suppose market price is now going 50 cents per hour, but you are ready to pay only 10 cents per hour for 100 servers. You specify that over here. Okay, my spot instance, okay, request for spot instance for T2 micro, it is saying that not eligible, but I can say maximum charge, I can say this much I can pay. Rest of the things you can give it. Okay, rest of the things you can give it, and you can specify, okay, what exactly you want. That is a spot instance. There are 3 types of instances we have. Well, there is a 3 types of instances we have. That is general purpose, okay, and spot instance. Okay, these two. Okay, are you clear what is these two? Another one is RA, reserved instance. What is RA? RA is nothing but reserved instance. That is nothing but, suppose you know one server you have started, that you know that okay, you are going to use for 1 year or 2 years, 3 years. You know that that application will run, the server will run at least 3 years. So what Amazon saying, instead of paying hourly based charges, okay, you can pay, okay, instead of paying hourly based charges, you can go for RA. RA, you have to pay something upfront to that, or else you have to say Amazon, okay, I will use for 2 years. So at least they'll give you a 40 to 50% of the discount on the, okay, a discount on that particular purchase in RA. Okay, RA is nothing but once you started a volume or whatever it is, server that will be used, okay, but that will be reduced cost, okay, based on the, okay, based on the conditions. Like you want to use 1 year reserved instance, okay, there will be one charge. 2 years, bit less. 3 years, bit less. If you use a RA, reserved instance, at least you can save up to 40% of your hourly charges. Okay. But in the second scenario, spot instance, they will give you a very less cost hardware, fine. But if someone bidded more than you, it automatically that particular device, that particular spot instance will be terminated over here and connected to the other server. Spot instance is not a production point of view. It is only for testing point of view you can use. Suppose someone other people are bidded more than that, immediately those servers will be terminated at your end, and that will be available for other users. Any doubts in this, sir? What is the general purpose? What is the spot instance? What is the reserved instance? Any doubts in these three things? The very basics are very important. If you missed anything, just let me know. Any doubts? Okay, let us go forward. And in which VPC you want? A VPC is nothing but a virtual private cloud. It is nothing but isolated environment in AWS. So a number of customers are there. All the customers are putting their servers into, okay, Mumbai server. Okay, all they are putting into a one location. Okay. Suppose you want to segregate it and you want to give a security. So that what they are saying is, yes, you can create security group. You can add your users or servers, everything into that particular secure. Okay, the VPC, virtual private cloud. Okay. Here, if you didn't specify anything, by default it will create a, okay, by default it will create an VPC when you create your account. You can select that, no problem. Okay, default one I have selected now, and we are going through. Okay, and you can use a subnet. Okay, as of now you select whatever the default subnet and public IP. If you require a public IP, yes, enable it. IAM role, as of now it is not required. Just I say add storage. Okay, add storage. Let me go back. See here, by default they are giving 8 GB of storage. When you are launching your server, it is creating 8 GB of storage. But if you require more, okay, more storage, at any point of time you can click and add new value. You can add the number of the size, all those things you can add it up. Okay, let it be. I don't want to add it now. We'll see in a while. Now tag instance. Tags are very important in a production point of view. Based on that, okay, we can come to know who requested it. Suppose let us say my name is, okay, this particular server name is file server. Okay, and suppose who requested this to create. Okay, I can say the client name. Okay, what are the details? Everything if you give over here, so that okay, that would be easy for other to dig into issue. Okay, suppose I say the item, I can say, or else I can say prod, all my production servers it is. App company name, whatever it is, you can give different tags. Based on the tags, we can segregate our servers. The second next thing is configure security group. Security group is nothing but you are okay. We are putting a firewall in front of okay in front of our servers. Okay, if you see here, by default, it is creating some name called launch wizard 1 and it is allowing SSH, port number TCP, port on TCP and port number 22 from anywhere, that means 0.0.0.0 by 0 anywhere. In the same way, instead of creating new security group, you have a separate already security group is there. Okay, select that security group. Okay, see that some security groups already defined. In that I said different ports. Okay, HTTP, HTTPS or SSH, different ports are enabled. So clients can log in, okay, or else client can do an operations on only that particular port, okay, enabled, or is that particular from that particular IP they can access. Is that clear? Security group. What is the security group? Any doubts? Any doubts, sir? You want me to unmute anyone? You can post your questions and okay, any questions you can post in that questions area or else chat area. Okay. If I say create new, you can create, okay, you can give the name. Okay, you can give the name over here and you can give the name and you can specify whatever the rules you want. Suppose I say by default SSH is opened as it is a Linux machine. Now you want to enable these many ports as per your requirements. Suppose PostgreSQL is required. You can select and about the port protocol and make sure that she will be available data. And from where you want to access. Anywhere means 0.0.0.0 by 0. Instead of that, if I say my IP, only from my IP I have gone to connect it. My IP means it will give you what is my IP over here. Okay. Okay. Let us say the existing security group I am using, Mumbai SG. Okay. Then review and launch. Okay, here you see that we don't have any username and password while creating our server, right? While creating our server, did we given any username and password? No. How can we log in? Yes, we can log in with the help of access key and secret access key. Those are all nothing but your username and password kind of thing. Okay. So how can we generate and how can we use it? The key pair, you can select whatever you want key pair name, that from the Unix machine or anything. You can convert that PEM file to PPK file. Let us say I want to use a new key pair, suppose. Create a new key pair. I say test. Download key pair. Only in this scenario only you can download the key pair. Suppose if you lost this key pair, you cannot get it back. Make sure that your key pair is in a safe location so that anyone can access it or else anyone can do any other things. Okay. Now you see whenever installed server, it is getting an instance ID called this particular one. You can see that instance ID. Name of the server is file server, instance ID, type of that one. Okay, where it is, availability zone. Let me explain you what is availability zone now. Okay, let it run. It may take to complete a status check. What it is status check, also I'll explain in a minute. Okay, let it run first. Okay, it is taking some time to, it may take 1 or 2 minutes, let it be. Okay, you see that there is a 2 by 2 checks are done, right? What is 2 by 2 checks? We'll try to learn now. You can see that availability zone AP South 1A. What is these two? In Amazon, there are 14 regions are there. You see that these are all the regions. Okay, these are all 14 regions. We have not yet come to 50.exe. Just a wait. Okay, just wait a minute, please. Okay, let us understand. In AWS, there are 14 regions are there. What is this region? A region is nothing but a geographically separated, a combination of data centers. In a region, we can have more than one data center. In each and every region, they maintain at least more than one data center. Why they require more than one data center? If you have installed an application in one server, If that went down also, you can have a access from the other data center. That is the understanding. Okay. So we have taken Mumbai as a region. We have taken a Mumbai as a region. In a Mumbai, we have two regions. One A, AP is nothing but not Andhra Pradesh. It's a Asia Pacific South 1A. Our server is installed in this particular area. We have other availability zone also, that is in 1B. Okay. So we have created one key pair, right? Test.pem. What we'll do, we'll try to convert that PEM file. Whenever you are connecting your Linux machine from the Windows machine, okay, whenever you are connecting Linux server from the Windows machine, we require a .ppk format key pair. We require .ppk format key pair. But we downloaded .pem file, right? This is a PEM file. We downloaded test.pem. So we need to convert .pem file to ppk file. To do that, we use a utility called puttygen. Okay, go to putty.org. Okay, you go to this particular area. Where you can download putty.exe as well as puttygen.exe. Putty.exe is to connect your server. Puttygen.exe to convert your PEM file to ppk file. Okay. The question from the Ramesh is there any specific importance of AWS regions? Can we create EC2 instance anywhere or any specific rules to follow? No. There is a site called bigbasket.com. Where is this company business is there? Most of the business is in India, right? Most of the business is in Indian cities. So, which is the best location in, suppose BigBasket is using AWS. Okay. Suppose you got a project for your company, you got a project for BigBasket. As you are a AWS architect or engineer, they ask you to suggestion. Okay, what is the best region you have to select? As your business is in India and we have a region in Mumbai, so which is better to this particular business? Suppose your business is in Virginia and business is in US. Okay, you can select in a US related region. Why? Because the latency will less, right? Your business is in India, you are installing server in US. Every time whoever trying to access your website, it should go to the US and get the result. Is that suggested one? You are working for a UK based company. Where you will create? You will create in a region called Ireland. Okay, Frankfurt, whatever. Whichever is the nearest one, we can select it and we can create our infrastructure over there. For me, Mumbai is my nearest location. So I've started my server in a Mumbai region, right? So what will do now? My server is started. Yes, network latency is one of the major component. Okay, because my business is here, every thousands of lakhs of users are hitting to my website. Every hit is taking a 1 second latency also. It will take a big impact on my website. So I'm using my nearest location. Yes, once it is created in one region, you cannot change it. Suppose you say there is a bigbasket.com. They are doing good in India. Now they want to have a business in US as well. They want to launch a business in US as well. What they can do? Any idea? Yes, they can create their new infrastructure over there. If you require this database also to be created over there, just dump over there. That's it. That we'll see that different scenarios in a while. Yes, you can clone it, you can copy it, all those things you can do it. I'll tell you how can we do all those things. Let us understand first basics. Okay. So the file server name I have given. Instance ID is automatically every instance it will get a unique instance ID from Amazon. This is the instance type I have selected. This is availability zone. In a Mumbai region, there are two data centers. The data centers, they named it as availability zone. The availability zone 1A and 1B. Instance state is running now. In general, when you start a server, you can see that it is in a pending state, then running state. If you want to stop it, you can stop state. You can terminate state. Okay, those are all the life cycles of your EC2 instance. Okay, then the status check, the 2x2 checks. If you see here, status check here, the 2x2 checks is right mark is there. Okay, green color one. It is nothing but it is successfully completed 2 checks. What are those 2 checks? You can see here, status checks. There are 2 types of checks are there. One is system status check, system status, okay, system reachability is passed. Instance status check, instance reachability check is passed. You remember that, okay, when these 2 checks are completed successfully, then only you can connect to your server, otherwise it will not connect. Is that clear? When these 2 checks are completed successfully, then only you can connect to the server, otherwise you cannot connect it. What exactly it is doing while checking? While system started, it is checking whether the hardware and network is properly configured for the system or not. Everything is properly configured or not. If everything properly configured, then it will work. It will say that it is passed. In this scenario, it will check the second scenario, instance status check. In this scenario, it will check whether software is properly configured, operating system is properly configured or not. All those things it will check. Sometimes you may see here 1.2 checks is passed. That means only one is passed, the second one is failed. Whatever the failed, you can see here this is failed kind of thing. So how to resolve this? If the system status check failed, if you stop the server and start it, that way that the issue get resolved. Just right click on this instance state, stop it and start it. So what happens if you stop and start? Whenever you stop and start, it will take a new hardware. Whenever you start a server, it will take a new hardware and start it. By doing so, the previously you may have a hardware issue, but this time that kind of issue will not be there. In that way, you can resolve your network and hardware related issues. The second one is a system status check, instance status check file. If you reboot your instance, your issue get resolved. You can see that what you can do. Okay, in this case, you can just need to reboot your instance to make modifications to your operating system configuration. That's it. If you reboot it, that issue will get resolved. Okay, the 2x2 checks are this. This is the 2x2 checks. System reachability check. One is hardware related, other one is software related. So as we discussed, there is a different life cycles of EC2. One is initializing, running, stop, start, stop, terminate. See that if you want to stop this instance, you can say instance state stop, instance state reboot, instance state terminate. If I say terminate, you cannot get server again. In your lifetime, the server will not get again. That is delete, that is terminated, deleted kind of thing. Okay, let us see. The instance ID, it is in running state, T2 micro, the instance DNS, private DNS IP address, private IP, the VPC ID, this is the VPC ID. For every service, they will give you an ID. Okay, this is a subnet, this is the Ethernet ID is nothing but every system will have one network adapter, right? Isn't it? For every system will connect through a cable, right? Where will connect through a network adapter. That network adapter name is ETL0. This is the one. And you have a root disk is XVDA. We have only one disk, that is XVDA, that is 8 GB. Then come to here, we have a public DNS. What is the difference between private DNS and public DNS? Why we require a public DNS again? We have a private DNS, right? Why we require a public DNS again? We have a private IP, right? Again, why public IP is required? Any idea? Any input, sir? Bhavani, why we require a public and private IP? Yes, you are all right. Private is your LAN, okay. Public is WAN, internet. Public IP is unique. Everything is okay, fine. You are right, absolutely right. So, suppose you have a one more server. Let us say here I have only one server. Let us say you have one more server. Okay, those two servers are in your data center now. If they want to communicate internally, we require a private IP. Internally, all the communication will happen through a private IP. That is a local LAN kind of thing. When we want to communicate from the external world, okay, when we want to communicate from the external world, we require a public IP. Is that clear? Now, because we are not in a, generally, if you see, if you are working in a company, okay, if you are working in a company, if you want to connect your off, okay, let us say you are working for a company called ICICIbank.com. ICICIbank.com. You are working for it. Okay, you are the administrator where you required an SSH connectivity. That means you have to connect to the server and do some operations on it. Where I am a normal user, where I have to connect on a web browser and do some login activity, do some transactions and all. A normal user, does normal user require an SSH connectivity? SSH action, access, SSH username and password? No, right? We don't require, okay, the SSH connectivity as a normal user. But as an administrator, you require it. Okay, fine. You require as an administrator, you require it. Fine. Okay, just a minute, guys. Just a minute, please. Okay. So what I am doing my server level, if you observe my security group level, what I have given, let me check now. See that I am given a Singapore, okay, I have created one security group. See that view rules. I enabled port number 22, also port number 80. Generally the port number 80 for your HTTP, port number 22 for your SSH action. In general, in a companies, what we'll do, we'll view, okay, we'll maintain in this way. Okay. Okay. If you go to the inbound of your security group, we'll say, we'll edit this. In general, HTTP can be accessed anywhere. SSH can be accessed from only my company address. Here I say my IP, or else you can say custom and your company CIDR block or IP or security group, whatever you want. Okay, here I say only my IP. You may have your the IP address, username, password, everything. Though you cannot connect it through SSH. Why? Because I restricted to access from only my IP. In general, in companies, HTTP or HTTPS they will enable from the entire world, and okay, SSH action can be accessed only from their local computer. That means local network, the office, corporate office network. So in this scenario, if you are working from that home, suppose you are supporting some okay off hours, and you are working from home, you want to connect to the server. What you do? You cannot connect to the server. Why? Because they allowed from only your corporate office address. So what you will do first? You connect to your office network with a VPN. There is a one software called VPN. You have to install on your laptop. Okay, if you join in your company, they will install on your laptop. They will install one utility called VPN that will create a secure connection between your laptop to your office network. From there, you can connect. Now you are in your office network kind of thing. Then you can connect it through the SSH. Is that clear? Any doubt in this? What is the security group? Why we required it? Okay, what it is? Any doubt in this? Please tell me, which is very important to understand the security group, especially inbound. Let us say tomorrow you install some application called FTP on this. Tomorrow you install some okay LDAP on this. Tomorrow you install some DNS on this. Tomorrow you install SMTP. Whatever you require, you have to enable that particular port. Suppose you installed Oracle RDS. Oracle RDS port uses this particular one. From where you want to access this particular Oracle RDS, enable that. Any doubts? Please ask me now. Okay. Okay. Let us do some things now. We'll go to instances. One server is running now. We have a public IP. Let us connect through a public IP to my machine. To do that, we have enabled the putty. We have copied that my IP address. Sorry. Let me connect it through my IP address. Copy and paste it into your putty session login session. IP or host and public. Okay, we cannot connect with a private IP. Why? Because we are not into Amazon network. If you have a VPN setup, if you have, okay, in my laptop I have installed one software called OpenVPN. This is the OpenVPN is a software to connect a direct connectivity between your Amazon network to your office, my laptop. Once it is established, directly you can connect to the private IP and you can do the operations. But I don't have such kind of operation setup now. So what I'm doing, I'm connecting through the public IP, right? But here I don't have any password to connect this server, username and password. So I've downloaded a key pair, right? I've downloaded a key pair. Through that key pair, I'll connect. Okay, fine. But this key pair in a PEM format. Let us say if you want to connect it in general, you can say connect. It is saying that okay, you can use this option SSH-I or those things, but in a okay, just a minute, please. Just a minute. Okay, now you can connect in this way also, but it is generally if you are using MacBook kind of thing, this will be, or else if you are connecting from the local, if you are connecting from the Linux machine to Linux machine, this can be helpful. But in a Windows machine, we are using a putty session to connect it. So I want to convert my PEM file to PPK. How can I convert? I'll use a puttygen downloads. Okay, downloads. I have a puttygen. Let me search it. Okay, this is a software puttygen.exe. Only two things you have to do. First, click on load. In a download section, just now we have downloaded one file called test.pem. Test.pem. Open. Then save as. Save as private key. You name it as something, whatever you want. Test. That's it. Save. That's it. So what you have to do? Open a puttygen. Load the key. Once it is loaded, save as private key and name it. Then close it. Any doubt in this? Any doubt in this? Okay, fine. Let me go forward. So now we have a password. So let us to use how to use a SSH key. Go to SSH authentication. In SSH we have authentication. Browse. Here I have a test.ppk. Test.ppk. Open it. Okay, say yes over here. Then all the Linux machines by default it uses EC2-user. all the Linux machines, it uses the default username is ec2-user. If it is a Ubuntu machine, Ubuntu is a username. So whenever you see in a Linux machine, if it is a dollar symbol, if you see it, it is nothing but a normal user. If you want to become a super user, you can say sudo su. Whenever there is a hash symbol, that is nothing but you are a super user. Now you can do whatever the operations on this particular machine, you can do it. Okay. So now we'll check. Suppose we have connected one volume, right? Let us say, okay, let us check how many disks are attached to this. You can do fdisk-l. Let us see that one dev xvda is connected, something 8589 MB is there, something 8 GB. Okay, if you want to verify that, you can see that here, dev xvda, that is a one disk attached xvda. Or else you can also see that more /proc/partitions. There is a one disk attached, that is a xvda. One disk attached, that is a xvda. Let us attach one more disk to this. Let us attach one more disk to this, one more volume. Let us okay, before doing volume operations, let us understand all the actions. What are actions you can do on this particular instance? If you click on here, if you require same identical server, same kind of this thing, one more server, you can say just launch more like this. It will create one more server. If you say launch, it will same with the same specifications, it will create one more server. If I say instance stop, it will stop the server. If I say reboot, it will reboot. Terminate, it will delete the server. Instance settings, if you want to edit any tags, if you want to create new tag or edit, delete, or whatever you want, you can do. That is the edit tags. Okay, launch to auto scaling group, we have not yet discussed auto scaling. When we discuss, we will try to understand that. What is the change termination protection? In general, if you say terminate, if it is directly terminated, suppose it is a production server, it will create problem, right? If it is a production server, unknowingly one of the engineer has said that terminated. If it is terminated, so it will create a problem. So what we can do is, see, if I say enable, termination protection is enable. If I say terminate this particular server, now you say it will not allow you to terminate. See, as terminate is disabled, you cannot terminate it. Why? Because I said that termination enable is disabled. If you want to really terminate it, yes, you can go here and change the termination protection enable to disable first. Then you can go and say instance state terminate. Now you say that is enabled now. Yes, terminate. If you click over here, the server will get terminated. You cannot access that server again. Is that clear? Now instance settings, we have seen that. Okay, then image is nothing but, see, we have started this server with the help of Amazon AMIs. Some Amazon has created some AMIs. AMI is nothing but Amazon machine image. Okay, whenever I say AMI, Amazon machine image it is. It has defined by Amazon actually. Okay, but in your company you have a specific requirements. Whenever your production server is launching, that should have some antivirus, that should have some Apache Nginx to be installed, that should have some specifications you have as per your company's standards. So what you can do, instead of using Amazon AMIs, I can create my own AMI. How can I do that? Suppose let us say in this particular server I install some yum install, okay, httpd. Okay. Okay, I've installed my own software in this. Okay, then from this machine you prepare an image. From this machine you prepare an image. Create image. Whenever you say create image, the image name I say some test image. Okay, or else prod image, production image, whatever it is. By default, it will install whenever you try to install from this particular image, whatever the software you install, whatever you configured, everything it will get back. Right? Also, if you want to add more volumes, by default, whenever the server is started from this image, I want to get more volumes, you can add it. If I say create image, immediately it will create image, but you have some downtime. Okay, that's why it is disconnected. See that it is disconnected now. Whenever you say create image, it will disconnect. That means it will take some snapshot of that particular volume. So you have some downtime. You see that AMI, it is in preparing state. AMI is in preparing in a pending state. That means it is preparing that AMI. Once it is prepared, previously we have launched an instance from the Amazon AMIs. Now onwards you can select your own AMI and you can prepare it. In a company's, for your Windows machine will create one AMI, for Linux machine will create one AMI, Ubuntu will take one AMI. We will prepare our own AMIs, we'll install antivirus in it, install all the company standards, will maintain it, and from there we'll try to launch our servers. Okay, if we go to the snapshot, you see that it is creating snapshot as well. Now it is creating snapshot as well at number 538.5. Right? It is in pending state. What are the time zones in AWS? The time zones are based on your selected time zone, which region you are. It is based on that time zone, right? Okay, now you see that one AMI is prepared, I think. Let us see. AMI is still it is pending. Okay, if you see that now you want to launch a new instance. Suppose I want to start a new instance, launch instance. Instead of going that Amazon given, you go to my AMI. There is test AMI is prepared, right? One AMI. You can select this one now. Now onwards, you can select this one. Who is owner? This is my company, my account ID. I am the owner of this particular AMI. I created my own. Any doubts, sir, in this? Now you can select this particular AMI and take whatever the size you required, configure instance details, which VPC you required, all those things. You see that there is a enable protect against accidental termination. If you enable this, you cannot terminate until unless you disable this. Just now we have seen that, right? There we have in actions we have seen that it is in a while installing only. Tenancy is nothing but you want to have a dedicated hardware or shared hardware. If you use a shared hardware, there will be a less cost. If you have a dedicated hardware, there will be some charges, additional charges. Any doubts in this till now? See that there is a 1/2 check fail. See that 1/2 check fail. Why it is failed? We'll see that status checks. See that the instance status check failure, the reachability check is failed on this particular time, 2 minutes ago. So what I have to do? to resolve this issue, what it is saying, you need to reboot your instance. So what I'll do, I'll go and say instance state reboot, so that that issue get resolved. Okay, sir. Any doubts? Jagdish, Bhavani, Anvesh. Ramesh, Sai, Shravya. Like I'm referring all. If someone missed, okay, don't feel otherwise. Good. Ramesh has created instance. Good. So the next what we'll do, now let us reboot this instance to resolve that issue. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll connect to the server and instance state, I'll say reboot. Okay. So come on, it is 2 by 2 checks now. So no, actually we didn't reboot it, but automatically it comes 2 by 2 checks. Okay. But if you see that there is a some 2 by 2 checks are failed. Okay. Guys, sorry to update you this. Unexpectedly, some relatives are came to my home, so I cannot continue anymore. Okay, whatever we discussed, I'll share this video to you all guys, and I'll share the lab documents as well for AWS lab documents. Whatever we discussed till now, there is some 15 labs are there, first class labs. Yeah, you do all these things and we'll connect. And tomorrow okay, tomorrow, is that okay for you guys? 7:30 a.m. IST, is that okay for all of you? Can I have a quick response, please? I have created instance. Okay, okay then. Tomorrow at 7:30. Okay, we'll join. Okay. Oh, Ramesh sir, you don't. Sorry guys. Sorry, we cannot do it tomorrow. Why? Because some people are from UK. It is too early for them, so it is not the convenient. That is not a convenient time to them. So we cannot continue at 7:30 a.m. So we'll connect same time tomorrow also. That is 7 p.m. IST. Tomorrow also we'll connect 7 p.m. IST, where we'll try to complete the EC2. EC2 we have. EC2 is one of the largest topic. Okay, it is one of the biggest topic I can say. We have to discuss volume, snapshot, security group, elastic IP, placement groups, key pairs. We know that key pairs now. Okay, we have to know one of the important topics like load balancers and auto scaling. These are the two very important topics: load balancer or auto scaling. Okay, we'll try to complete these topics by tomorrow, and we'll jump into the rest of the classes. And we'll take one more day and we'll try to complete it. Okay. Okay. Tomorrow, I don't know all the daylight savings and all, but tomorrow 7 p.m. IST to 10 p.m. IST, we'll try to cover. Okay, AWS. Okay, we'll try to see more scenarios in AWS. Okay. Make sure that you are all available tomorrow, 7 p.m. IST. Okay. Bye now. See you tomorrow. I'll share all the lab documents and this video in a while. Bye.